Hey guys, it's MandaPanda. Welcome to the Rainbow Galaxy My Little Pony tutorial. I get lots of comments from you guys saying, why do you use nail polish? Why don't you use acrylic? So I'm going to do both. I have red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple nail polish, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple acrylic paint. Rarity is going to be customized with nail polish, and Rainbow Dash will be customized using acrylic paint. So let's get started with Rarity. I have her hair tied up in a twist tie so that way it doesn't get dirty. The first step to creating the rainbow effect is giving Rarity a complete makeover with rainbow color. So using all 6 colors of the rainbow, you're just going to go in and randomly place little patches, little circles, however you want to do it, of the different colors all around her entire body, just like this. And nail polish is pretty thick, so with one coat it will cover. And I'm not worried about overlapping the colors. I'm not too worried about the pattern. Everything's completely random and it doesn't matter because we're going to cover it in a second. I'm saving Rarity's eyes because I don't want to have to paint them in later. So I'm just choosing whatever color I like and outlining her eyes, and let it completely dry. And here's the finished product. She looks like some crazy Frankenstein quilt, but she's gonna look super cool at the end, I promise. She's completely covered head to toe. The next step is going to be the black, so to really give it that galaxy look. Using a small makeup sponge, you're going to dab some black nail polish on one of the edges, and I'm going to go ahead and tap the sponge on a piece of paper so that way the color is not too strong. Now take that sponge and dab it all over Rarity. Almost completely cover up all of the color that you've put down. So you just want to leave maybe a little bit of color in the centers, but for the most part, just completely cover her up head to toe with black. And be careful around her face. And here she is. So she kind of looks like she was spray painted or something, has some graffiti going on. But now we're going to really go in and define those colors. Using some acetone and a small brush, you're going to go in and you're going to very lightly start rubbing off the top layer of black nail polish. Now don't rub too hard or you're going to also rub off the color that we have underneath. So you'll see that I'm just kind of moving the brush around softly, kind of spreading that black around, feathering it, and exposing the color underneath. This is very similar to scratch art where you have, the black sheet of paper and you go in and you scratch your drawing and it's super colorful underneath. Well, that's basically what we're doing here. And then you're going to repeat this process all over Rarity and it's going to end up looking something like this. Galaxies have stars, so to recreate the look of stars in the sky, I am going to be using some nail polish. So using Essie's Carnival, which is a very finely milled glitter, I'm just going to go over Rarity and give her one coat of the glitter nail polish to really make it look like stars in the universe. And if you want lots of stars in your universe, you could always go over her with 2 top coats of glitter because glitter never hurt anyone. And Rarity's almost done. I'm really loving this transformation. She looks so cool. I'm just going to go in with a fine brush and I'm going to define her eyes again because they did get covered up with a little bit of polish, and I'm going to go ahead and give her eyelashes back. So I'm going to outline the top and the bottom to define her eyes. And to clean up the inside of her eyes, I'm just using a flat brush and some acetone to clean off all the polish that was inside her eye. And here she is, Rainbow Galaxy Rarity. What do you guys think? I think she came out super awesome. But now let's repeat this process using Rainbow Dash and acrylic paints and see how it compares to the nail polish. Now my personal preference is nail polish. I don't use acrylic paints too much. They're not my favorite, but here it goes. Okay, Rainbow Dash is all ready. I got my acrylic paints laid out in my palette, and I'm going to go ahead and just repeat the same process on Rainbow Dash that we just did with Rarity. So taking the acrylic paints, I'm just going to go all around her and completely fill her up with different colors, give her that patchwork look. So with the acrylic paint, I do have to go over and give it at least 2 coats because it is very thin and it doesn't cover too well. So that's one strike against acrylic paint for me because it does need 2 coats. This yellow needs like 5,000 coats. And you can see like when I put the acrylic paint down, it starts to separate off of the My Little Pony, and I really don't like that, which is why I try not to use acrylic paints. They're not my favorite. And if they work for you, that's super awesome, but I prefer nail polish. So I'm just going to go in with that yellow, and you can see right here on camera where as soon as I lay down a paint, it starts to separate. So you kind of have to wait till it dries, go in, put like 2-3 coats of acrylic paint. But I'm going to keep on going. So I got the blue, the green, the yellow, and then it's going to be the orange, the red, and the purple. And I'm trying my best to keep her hair clean. And so here's the wing. I painted it like twice and I still can see the blue. So I'm gonna have to go over one more time with the yellow acrylic paint. And once the acrylic paint's completely dry, I'm gonna go in with black acrylic, and using my paintbrush, I'm going to outline in black basically all the lines here where the colors are separated, like this. Now I have wet my brush with water, and I'm using that water to act kind of like what we did earlier with the acetone. So using the wet brush, I'm going to go over the black, try my best to brush it and kind of cover it completely with black, and it's not working. You can see right here where the acrylic paint has already peeled off, so I'm gonna have to try and fix that by putting some more black over it. And the water technique did not work. It did not budge the black acrylic paint, so I did put a little bit of black acrylic paint on my brush, which is still very wet, and I'm going to try and see. Look, it's just peeling. Gosh, well, I'm just gonna go in and put lots of black right there and try and cover that up. So like I said, the water didn't work, so I'm having to use my brush and go back over everything with a little bit of black, and this looks horrible. Oh my gosh, I hate it. Okay, I'm gonna try and fix it. I'm going to use a Q-tip that's dipped in water, and I'm gonna go ahead and try and kind of maybe scrape off the layer of black to reveal and expose the colors underneath, and that totally scratched off the acrylic paint again, so that's awesome. I have to cover that up with some more black. Well, it kind of works in some spots. So I'm just going to use that Q-tip, and I'm going to just fill back in some color on those places where the paint scratched off. And I'm trying a new technique. So I'm going to put down color, and while it's still wet, I'm going to go in with the black and kind of try and mix those colors together to give it that same look we got earlier with nail polish. And I guess it looks okay, so I'm going to go over all of her with that technique. And once that's done, we're going to give her her stars. To do this, I'm just taking a paintbrush with some white acrylic paint, and I'm going to be spraying her all over to give her the splattered look of stars. And using water, I'm just going in and cleaning off her eye. And she doesn't look that bad, but it was definitely very difficult to recreate the look that we did with the nail polish. Once she's done, you're going to want to seal her with some sealant. And here's the finished product. So Rainbow Galaxy Edition. That's a mouthful. Let's compare her to the nail polish Rarity. And you guys tell me, what's your favorite? Do you prefer the nail polish version or the acrylic paint version? My favorite's the nail polish. Let me know down in the comments below. Everybody has different styles of customizing. If you use acrylic paint, if you use nail polish, if you use spray paint, if you use Sharpies, it doesn't matter what you use as long as the customs come out exactly the way that you want them. If there's any other tutorials that you would like to see done, let me know down in the comments below and I can see if I can get that done for you. Thank you so much for watching, little pandas. Until next time, you can find me online. For the latest news and updates for the channel, you can follow me on Instagram, MandaPanda Toy Collector, like my Facebook page, facebook.com/MandaPanda Toy Collector, or you can add me on Snapchat, MandaPanda TC.